Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Excuse the hair. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. But we are back. We are back better than ever. It is currently 27th of October 2024, and another week has passed, and a lot of stuff has been learnt, and a lot of stuff is coming. So, yeah, very interesting the last week. Um, I'll start off with training. Gym's going pretty well. I have been training. This is my first week on the powerlifting schedule, and it was tough. I haven't trained with that much volume with those three lifts in quite a while. So, if I had to think, we started on the Monday. We started with deadlifts. Now, I usually deadlift around 225 for three, for two sets. So, what I thought, if I drop it down to 200 and then build up to 210 over the five sets, I thought that would be good enough, but I got to 200, I'm working on my form to make sure that my form is as best as can be without me getting injured. So yeah, I was working on that as well, and so what I just ended up doing is doing 200 kilos for five sets, and my back was broken. And as soon as I had finished that, I still had to do a whole lot of back workouts, which was difficult, but whether my back was sore it was sore all the way up till like Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, and then Wednesday I had my first proper bench session. That was insane. I didn't go heavy. Well, I just because again, it's my first week, I'm trying to figure out the weights. So I started at 100 and I pulled my way up to 110 for five. It's definitely interesting. I haven't benched like that in a while, and the pump was insane. And then I went on to do some overhead press barbell, and then I went to do some mainly just pressing movements to increase my shoulder and tricep strength to increase my bench. And then on Friday I had legs, and legs I had 5x5, and I built up from 140 to 150. I built up, and yeah, I hadn't trained like that again, like I said, in a while, and I definitely felt it. And what I'm going to work on next week is getting more depth because I can see that I'm struggling to get my depth. So that's going to be my main focus point for next week is getting the depth in my squat. But yeah, that is the physical side of it. That is my gym side of it. Go back to school. School, I had 2 days of school, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then yeah, I then I just realized I got holiday next week, so I've got no school next week. Um, so yeah, this week was kind of just like finishing putting all the dots on the i's for the last assignments for school, and then figuring out what I want to do for this upcoming week because this upcoming week I have no school, like I just said. So I'm trying to figure out how I can optimize next week the best I can. Um, I do at some point next week, Wednesday, I am going to my grandparents. They live about an hour away by car. So I'll be taking my mom's car, just driving down there, saying hello, spending some time with them, coming back up, and then I'll be heading to the gym after that. And yeah, next week I will be working a lot. And I think my main focus this last week was the TikTok agency. My main focus had been figuring out what my service is actually going to be. And I figured, actually, now that I think about it, because I've been constantly thinking about the smallest things, and then one thing leads to another, and it's been very, wouldn't say overwhelming, but it's been a lot to think about over the last while. And when I think about it like that, I'm when I think about my TikTok, when I think about my agency, what I want to do is I want to grow, because I don't know if you remember saying last time in my video that I've got an internship with a company called Daffy at the end of um, this calendar year, next year, when I come back from South Africa, I will start my internship with this company called Daffy. Now, I want to grow their social media platform on TikTok. I want to grow their TikTok to at least 15 to 20,000 followers. That is my goal, organically. No ads, no paid ads, nothing. So that is my main goal with them. And my main goal is to try and figure out how I'm going to do that the best and the fastest that I can. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it a brand new skill? Yes. Is that the whole point of this whole series and journey? Absolutely. It's testing my limits, seeing where my physical and mental limits is to say like, bro, you actually can't do this. I've tested my physical limits. I've trained for powerlifting events. I've done cold ice baths. I've woken up at 5 a.m. I've done 75 hard. I haven't finished it, but I have started it. It was freaking deadly. Um, I ran a marathon. I've done a lot of things to test myself physically. So I can physically say I have pushed myself to what I think right now and for the next while will be my physical limit. Now I want to test this limit. The most important limit ever is I feel like this is strong, but this is not as intelligent and is not as well oiled as it could be, if that's the best way I can put it. So my main focus is trying to be more elaborate, trying to be more intelligent in a way. So that is currently my main focus. And while I'm trying to improve, they're just maintaining this. So that is so far my goal. It is so far what I've been up to. And I have figured out how I'm going to price my service. I've figured out how I'm going to do it. And I've figured out how I'm going to, once I've achieved that goal with Daffy, I've figured out how I'm going to grow and get new clients. And that's where this comes in. This comes into the point where this is my personal brand. This is who I am. This is what clients are going to see. This is what people around the whole world are going to see. If people think of Luke Harting, this is what they see. Now, I am just an 18-year-old kid in my room, don't get me wrong. But I'm still striving not only for greatness, but greatness in my own books, which is testing myself every single day to try and be the best version of myself. And to prove that, it is a Sunday afternoon. My brother is probably sitting in his room watching YouTube, playing games, whatever. And my parents are currently out at a concert. By all means, they in their 50s, 60s, they must go enjoy life. By all means. But I'm here creating content. I've posted one and I've made 6 TikToks today. I've made 6 and I'm making this YouTube video. So I've made 6 TikToks. I'm now making this YouTube video. This morning I was at work with Picnic. So I've been on the go since around 7 o'clock this morning. And I just haven't stopped. I have stopped, I think, maybe once or twice to have breakfast and lunch. But for the rest, I've been going, man. I've been going. Um, but in that sense, I'm happy. I love doing this. I love look the work itself. I enjoy it. But what inspires me more is like, if you think you're tired now, what if you just push a bit further? What if you just that little bit extra push? What happens if I push a little bit harder? What happens? I know if I get to a certain level and I feel myself getting sick, like my throat starts getting itchy, my nose starts getting blocked, I know then to be like, okay, wait, hold on. Because there is no point in me working that extra 2 hours and then going to bed 2 hours later, sleeping 2 hours less, and for the next week and a half, I'm out. It's not worth those 2 hours. It's not worth it. And that's something that I've had to trick myself into be very understanding and very noticeable of how I'm feeling, because that is the best way to move on, especially as a man. It's very, 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 very common for men nowadays to be like, screw your feelings, you're not allowed to feel. No, no, no. I completely disagree with that. As a man, you should feel probably even harder as a woman. You should feel more feelings than a woman. But what makes you a man is how you deal with it. What makes you a man is recognizing how you're feeling, recognizing if you should bring it up, if you should actually face it face to face and be like, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling sick. And you realize, okay, you're feeling tired. No, that's an excuse. Then, by all means, push through it, ignore the feeling, and go. But always acknowledge it. Acknowledge it, understand it, move on. It's very important as a man to be emotionally intelligent. If you're emotionally intelligent as a man, you also automatically become way more attractive to women. You do. So that helps when it comes to finding your dream partner. It's something I've had to learn getting used to my wife. I've had to get to understand me, how I'm feeling, because we'll get into arguments. And she says, okay, this is just how I'm feeling. And I'm like, damn, feelings, what is that? And I haven't given myself to be like, okay, I'm feeling this. And I haven't acknowledged it. I've walked over my own feelings. It's understanding. As a man, you have to acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge them. And then once you've acknowledged them, think about what you can do to either change it or get past it. How can you change being tired? Depends on time of the day. You can either sleep or have a coffee. Pick. But just understand you must be able to feel. It is the most important thing when it comes to getting your dream wife and having kids. If you want to have the best family you can, as a man, you have to be able to feel. Just know how to control your feelings. It's the most important part. It's one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year. As a man, to understand your feelings is not a weakness. It's what you do with those feelings is what makes you the person that you are and the man that you are. It's how you deal with your feelings. If you're feeling tired, you don't go sit in your bed and scroll on TikTok for an hour. You understand, damn, I'm tired. You drink water, do 5 push-ups, and you're up to go. I'm not asking you to do 100 push-ups to wake yourself to punish yourself. I'm saying, boom, get some water, splash yourself with in the face with water, and keep going. That's a man. A wuss goes to bed. Then by all means you soft. 100% you soft. But if you understand how you're feeling, acknowledge it, and get past it, that's a man. But if there's one thing, and that's the thing, this video is not going to be very long because I'm more focused on doing stuff. So talking about it is amazing, but I'm more focused on getting stuff done. Don't get me wrong, this afternoon is going to be very chilled. It is, like I said, Sunday afternoon. My main priority once I've made this video is clean my room and spend time with my wife. Because through the whole of next week, she's got an exam tomorrow. I'm going to be busy tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of time away from each other. We're going to be busy. So I want to spend as much quality time with her today as I can. But to my point, and to the last bit of this video, if you're questioning what is the definition of a man, when you go from a man to a boy, sorry, when you go from a boy to a man, what happens? What makes you a man? What changes you from a boy to a man? There's 2 ways to think about this, and I'm going to skim through both. Number one, as a boy, you have a moment in your life when you are so alone and you realize no one is coming to save you. You can be 3 years old when you hear this. You can be 33. If there's a moment in your life you realize you want something, you want to do something, you want to figure out something, but no one is coming to help you, and you have to do it on your own, you take self, what's the word I'm looking for? You take initiative, you take self-initiative to do it on your own because you realize no one's going to do it for you. That's pillar number one. Pillar number two, very simple, is when you are responsible for someone else. I'm a man and I'm 18, but they are 27-year-old boys. But I'm a man because I'm responsible for my wife's feelings. I'm responsible for her. She might be flipping 13,000 kilometers away. I'm still responsible for her. And that's what makes me a man. I'm not trying to gloat and say I'm better than everyone. No. Just telling you who I am. None of you have to agree. None of you. Telling you who I am. On that note, I want you guys to go have an amazing Sunday. And I don't know when you guys are watching this, whether it's the day I posted, the week after I posted, month, year, 5, 10 years. This is something that is going to apply to you every single day of your life. I want you to wake up every single day of your life, and I want you to be the best version of yourself, not for you, but for God. Because if you do it for God, God will give you everything that you could ever want in this entire universe and more than you can ever think of. So be the best version of yourself, not for you, but for God.